design concepts that help to inspire and motivate people within the workplace. Generally, just to talk about the company overview, their line of business is custom computer programming, which is exactly what I do. My industry is in the manufacturing industry right now, focused on that. However, they specialize in the healthcare industry. They're located in Madison, Wisconsin, founded in 1979, private employee owned as well, and their mission is to do good, have fun, make money. The external of the buildings are very impressive with architectural design and elements of waterfalls and water, just really bringing that element in from the beautiful outdoors. Also, they bring in that particular theme inside quite often, and with a sort of castle themes. Here was an example of a sort of Tomb Raider theme they were doing. They also have utilized some really fanciful sort of, brings back childhood memories with this treehouse conference room. And walking over a bridge. I mean, wouldn't everyone love to walk over a bridge at their office space or at their home to get to, these impressive buildings? I think that's a really great touch. As far as their social spaces are concerned, their cafeteria is kind of in a summer camp theme, that they're utilizing these picnic tables, brightly colored, and other, round tables here in the middle as well if you don't want to sit on one of the picnic tables. So they offer some options, but really broad and focusing on a lot of nice, rich woods and, a big open space. It really, I'm no doubt that it would feel very open and inviting here at this cafeteria. Also just kind of showing how they might utilize a space even for meetings. Here's another sort of subway themed area, a waiting room sort of area here that you can see. And then again, social spaces could be anywhere, but a good example here is outside, just getting together on the patio and having a break and socializing. Here's a good example also outside where they actually went ahead and did a meeting. So, being flexible enough to be willing to have meetings in sort of non-traditional spaces is a good idea. As far as meeting spaces are concerned, they're traditional, they're conference rooms. Some of them are more traditional, not all of them look this impressive, but here's a good example of one that's a large, nice, open area feel conference room with a large screen projector on the back. You have the interesting lighting there at the top hanging down. Also the glass table just kind of, serves to open the space even further. And, having an auditorium, if I had the amount of money that this company had, definitely an auditorium would be a must. Such a multi-purpose room could be for, of course, the strategic meetings and presentations of the company, but also equally important to be able to include activities such as, movie nights and things like that. They also have, this treehouse. It's actually raised up off the ground, and it's a conference room in there. So, as you can imagine, just having a meeting here in this place, it probably would inspire great ideas. Here's another example of a conference room where they had, nice, rich wood space with, some color elements mingled in, and the fireplace in the back, but really a warm sort of setting. Where you could really see having a very large meeting, where you could really feel like you're relaxed and getting things done. Just another space that might not be a traditional conference room, but shows off their theme with this sort of dungeon lair theme, and I could imagine getting together there in the middle and with a few of my peers and going over something as a meeting space. As far as what I see as an important elements in this particular company, definitely the architectural work. I think that it's really important to have an impressive place to come to work if you are going to build your own office space. And bringing in those themed elements throughout the building is a really great idea because it helps to inspire people and get them kind of away from their normal everyday job duties and start thinking a little bit outside of the box. And that's really what all of this is about. Also, for their clients when they're coming into a lobby like this, how large and impressive and colorful, and it just has a lot of elements that really probably would encourage any client to think that this is an impressive company. But equally important, it's important to have quiet spaces. I think the big fault of open office design is that it often eliminates those quiet spaces that you need in order to get work done. Here's another example of a gentleman who found an area within the office building to just kind of focus on their work. Their particular focus as far as benefits are concerned is that they want their individual contributions to industry. They really focus on that impact. Also, that they're a very innovative company, so initiatives that are towards innovation in general. They offer professional development, which is really important. I think that being able to offer some sort of professional development, not necessarily to fund school at a traditional school or anything like that, but having enrichment training is really important throughout the process as being an employee with the company. Also, they have stock appreciation rights, so stock options of some kind. And they offer this, concept that's very popular in European countries, that you take off for, 3 months out of a year and you get refreshed and you get some ideas and, come back and you're really ready to get it done. Also, being able to offer the odysseys, clubs, and company events, and, whether for team building purposes or just to, enrich their lifestyle and offer, other opportunities that they might not otherwise have come across. Also, it's really important that you offer food and snacks. I think that having worked at a lot of different corporate offices and being that there's, only coffee and, snack machines available frequently at those locations, it's, I think, not only for health reasons, but also just for the satisfaction of the employee, making sure that they're well fed, making sure that they, and making it free, because I think that it's important that, they have the ability to just focus on their work instead of having to worry about arranging for whatever it is that they're needing to do as far as their food concerns are. So it's really important to have, good food and snacks available. I would say, what I would do particularly is that I would want to make sure that the building is an inspiring building architecturally. I actually almost became an architect. For the longest time, that's what I thought I was going to be when I grew up. So I find that just sitting and being outside of or coming to working in an architecturally impressive building is a really important way to motivate your employees. Also, including themed areas. Not only is it fun, but it's also a way to break, sort of out of that box and kind of get your mind away from work. And even it could just be a walk to the restroom and being able to walk through a dungeon area or some other themed area. I think that it really kind of breaks things up. Also, making sure, of course, the food and drink needs to be there. It needs to be free. It needs to be, with several different options, and include things, like that are kind of fads, but also, include really just good food for them. Really, also kind of as a side benefit, but it can also be displayed in office design, is kind of this focus on the company's or individuals' impact on the project that they're involved in. and celebrating that in some way. Either putting up some sort of mural to celebrate a particularly large project, or just a rolling portfolio, or in general, it's important to integrate that employee appreciation. And probably the most important thing that we've learned, again from the fault of the open office work design, is that if you don't have any quiet areas, well, it's understandable that having areas where people kind of collide together that wouldn't normally, and get them talking about different interdepartmental sort of projects and things like that might come up out of that. It's really important to have a quiet area to go and just focus on your work. Well, there's Epic Systems for you, and here's the references that I used. I will include a link into the Prezi presentation if you'd like to click through some of these references here as well. Thank you, and have a good day.